Well, my friends, I have a heartbreaking final episode here in store for you today. After a lot of back and forth, I've decided to take a pause from this podcast for a whole list of reasons that I'm going to share in today's episode. So tune in to the rest of this episode to hear more about what's going on for me, why I'm choosing to take a break from this podcast, and a few other things. And before we get into that, I just want to take a minute to thank each and every one of you who have been on this ride with me since starting the podcast years ago. And I think we're at 190 episodes or something crazy, which is incredible. And I couldn't have done it without all of you, without all of your support and your reviews and comments, and just sharing this message around has meant the world to me. And I'm so excited to step into this next iteration of my life and where I'm at, and to share some of the details and what you can expect on this podcast. Because little sneak peek, it's not going to be goodbye forever. I promise. I promise that. So without further ado, let's get into sharing a little bit of behind the scenes, what's going on, and why this is going to be the final episode on this podcast for a little while. Welcome to the Beyond Sugar Freedom podcast. I'm your host, Danielle Dame, holistic nutrition coach and speaker. Let's dive in. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Beyond Sugar Freedom podcast, and welcome to the final episode. The final episode for now. For now. So this is a goodbye for now episode, and I really want to hit that home. I am excited one day to get back into podcasting, but for now, this is it. And it's bittersweet. And the truth is, I need to share this. I need to honor what I'm doing, the choices that I'm making for myself, and record this episode for all of you to keep you in the loop, because I love you and I care about you and I want you to know what's going on and why you're not going to see any more podcast episodes from me for a while. And, the real tough piece for me has been honoring the truth that I had really hoped and expected at 7 months postpartum to be feeling inspired and excited to get back into work, recording podcasts, reaching out to guests, planning my next retreat, maybe thinking about hosting my next program. I know I'd always mentioned and said that I'm taking a year off for, maternity leave to just figure out this new motherhood thing. And in the back of my mind, I had an expectation and I thought that, around this mark, 6 months, 7 months, I'm going to start feeling excited and creative again to hold space, to host breathwork ceremonies, to get into the retreats again and programs and all the amazing things, and starting to put myself out there again more, all the things. And over the last couple of weeks, I've really sat with this and acknowledged that as much as I expected to be in that place, I'm not. I'm not in that place at all. I currently feel no desire to dive back into my work. And this has been really tough for me because I love what I do. I love all of you, my clients, those of you who follow me here on the podcast, that have been impacted by my work and what I'm sharing. It's been really hard for me to admit to myself and to really accept and surrender to this truth of where I am at in this moment. And I hope that you can take that as a teaching lesson, as everything I do comes with that like undertone of wanting to inspire, wanting to teach, because this shows up in our lives in so many ways. And I'm willing to bet you can even think right now of places where you might be forcing, or, where may have had an expectation, but the reality of where your mind, body, spirit, capacity is might not be aligned with that. And that's really what I'm experiencing now. And there's been a grieving process for me because, as I said, I love what I do. I'm excited to get back to work. On one hand, my mind is excited to get back into work, but my brain and body and energy is not. And at this time in my life, every ounce of my energy and my capacity is going to raising my son, is going to Landon, is going to being there for my family, myself, and my garden, my 3,000 square foot garden that we just started, which is a total side note, but also a full-time job. But anyone who knows, or anyone who has kids or knows of, women with kids, it's a full-time job. And especially when you want to do a good job at it, right? I've seen a quote around that I actually love, and it's, parenting is only hard for those who do a good job at it, right? Like I could be choosing to neglect Landon, to ship him off to daycare, to hire a babysitter so that I could work. And to me, that's not in alignment with my values. And, I want to really be present with him. And when I look at the big picture of my life and my growth journey, which I'm always here sharing with you on the show, I realized that this is really my opportunity to practice what I preach, right? To be here and to be present for my family and for my son 110%, especially for these first few important years of life. They say the first 3 years of life are the most important for the development of a healthy attachment, of a healthy nervous system, healthy mind, healthy body. Obviously, all these pieces, those first years are apparently the most key. Obviously, all the years are important, but those are like really starting a foundation for him. And my full-time job right now is to support him in developing a healthy nervous system, a true sense of this safety and attachment with me as his mother, as his primary connection caregiver, even though he has such a beautiful, amazing relationship and sense of safety with Ben as well. And these jobs right now feel the most important to me. To be spending my days and any ounce of capacity that I have, cooking healthy meals and supporting Landon and taking him on adventures and spending time with him, being present with him, as opposed to also being on my computer thinking about work. So this poll has been really challenging because I've tried to, as you know, step into a little bit of work. I was hosting some breath work journeys, a little bit of things here and there, and it just isn't working for me. And I'm really coming to terms with that right now, that I need to be full on in honestly, like the traditional role of a woman. And this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but this is when we look at the traditional roles of men and women, there's a reason that those exist. And I actually believe that we've been pulled, especially as women, so far out of the importance of our role as a mom, as a mother, and to believe that we need to do all these other things, to have a full-time job and mother and do all these things, that we're exhausted, we're fried. Just because you can do it all doesn't mean you should do it all. I think this might be one of the dark sides of the feminist movement. Little side tangent for all of you is how much we've been pulled and taught to really go against our knowledge and our inner knowing of being there and raising our kids, right? And how many women, I mean, no judgment here, but right, work so they can pay to outsource the care of their children. And this is just not something that resonates with me, not something I want to do. I want to be raising my kids and I want to be there for him. And it's hard and it's more than a full-time job because I don't get a break at night. and it's probably the most important thing I'll ever do. So we're choosing in this time to really embrace these traditional family roles. And Ben is starting actually a new business and he will be working. I will be here doing the laundry, doing the food, doing the rearing of the child, and being, socializing him and all these amazing things. And I'm so grateful for the community that I've created. I have very full days, and I'm really starting to slowly get in the groove of this new role. And I'm sure that will be probably what I say for the rest of my life because it's just every day is a new learning. Every day is a wild adventure. So what does this mean for you? Right? What does this mean for you as a incredible listener, a friend, a dear friend I consider you? And as I, step into honoring what my family needs, as I've mentioned already, I'm going to be stepping back from any of the little pieces around the online world that I was really acting and engaging in. So that will include taking a pause from this podcast. This will be the final episode for a while. I am absolutely going to leave this podcast up and running. You can always find the episodes on YouTube or on Apple or Spotify. Share them around, please. The content will still be here. I've got some amazing episodes. I hope you continue listening and coming back to them time and time again as you need. I'm going to be stopping my monthly newsletter as well. So I was sending out a monthly newsletter to those on my email list. I'm going to be pausing that. I'm going to be very minimally, as I have already been posting on social media. I'm actually in a little bit of a debate or reorganization of my relationship with social media as well. There's a love-hate relationship that I've had for years with social media. That's another side tangent, but it's just not a place that I want to live. And I want to live in the moment and really be present with my new life and real people in the flesh, which is wonderful. And at the same time, I love staying connected on these platforms. So it is somewhere that I've really been enjoying. For those who do follow me on Instagram, I've been sharing a lot of the gardening journey and our just day-to-day life and journey as we sort of get set up on this land and get into our first year of growing a vegetable garden at a pretty big scale, and all the ups and downs of that. So that's been fun to share on my stories. So I'll probably keep doing that. But in terms of like posting content and talking about sugar and all the stuff that I definitely love supporting women with, I'm taking a pause on all of that and really just giving myself permission to step fully back from what I was doing before to be really present with this new role and my new identity that I'm figuring out, right? It's still unfolding. I'm a mother. I'm also now Danielle Van Dyke. I am no longer Danielle Dame, which is wild. I haven't changed anything online yet, but that's going to be a process. And this is a massive adjustment, and I'm so excited. And it just feels right making this choice to really give all my capacity and my time and attention to this new role that I'm in, and come back when it feels right instead of forcing it. And of course, I'm always going to have the massive, huge library of incredible resources, courses, programs, masterclasses available on my website. So I did put that together before I went on maternity leave. I'll make sure the link is below in the show notes. So if anyone wants Dani support, and you want to really dive into the root causes of your sugar addiction and do some of the healing work, I have amazing programs there that you can get into. You can have lifetime access to them. So please check those out below. There's still incredible value there and incredible guidance from me if you resonate with what I'm sharing here on the podcast. And I will be back one day. So this is, again, that reminder that this is not goodbye forever. I will be back one day, and it feels so weird to say. But I will be back as Danielle Van Dyke. Danielle Van Dyke. It's still like, oh, it just boggles my mind. It feels like somebody else that I'm talking about at this moment. So there's another piece of the new identity that I'm trying on. New name, new role as a mother, all sorts of new things showing up for me. And I'm really giving myself that permission to allow it to unfold as it needs to. And that's going to take time. And I have no idea how long. I have no promises or idea of how long this is going to take. It could be another year, could be another 2 years. Hopefully not that long, because I really do want to come back and get into just holding space again. And at the same time, I'm loving the beautiful communities that I've created here in person in the area of the world where I live. I've actually started a weekly moms cold dip group. So I'm definitely still hosting community, and I host a moms group, and I'm a part of a moms group. So I've got some amazing groups and communities that I am really focusing on that feel really nourishing right now. And I'm just letting myself be present with all of that. So let's leave it at that. That's really what's been going on behind the scenes. This is this new phase that I'm in. And instead of forcing something that I don't have the drive for right now, like my creativity has not come back online. I and my capacity. Really, the sleep deprivation is real, ladies. And I'm tired most days, and I'm exhausted. And I give all that I can to Landon, to myself, to making sure we cook healthy meals and have fun. And that's really what I need to focus on right now. So I can't thank you all enough for being a part of this community over the last while. I hope me sharing this from the heart, and this decision gives you also strength to honor what may be going on in your life that you need to say no to, or is no longer working for you, or that you just need to give yourself permission to let go of certain things, even when it's hard. And allow yourself in those moments then to say yes to what does feel right. So trusting the body, trusting these feelings that we talk about so much on this podcast, really trusting yourself and the continual journey of letting go of those darn expectations, right? And allowing yourself to surrender to the truth of whether it's a change in a relationship that you need or a friendship that you need to step back from, or different change in your role, is it your job? Um, give yourself permission to do that. Do what feels right and know that you can always shift again in the future. So without dragging this on any further, I want to thank you all again so much from the bottom of my heart for just being on this journey with me. And I am sincerely excited to come back to resurrect one day a new version of myself, a new version probably of this podcast. It's going to be great. I have no idea what it's going to look like or when it's going to be, but I promise you it's going to be amazing. And I'm just deeply wishing each and every one of you so much joy and health and healing, in 2025 and onward, beyond into the future. I hope that you find the support that you need in whatever you're struggling with, and that you know that you're worthy of, giving yourself that permission to do what you need to do for you. All right. Thanks again, everyone, and goodbye for now. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. If you're loving what we talked about today, please remember to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share this episode with someone you love. It helps me incredibly reach more people and help more women who need this information. And if you're ready to go deeper into discovering your unique root causes and patterns keeping you hooked on sugar year after year, be sure to come and check out the brand new free root cause quiz that will give you actionable items to finally begin healing your relationship with sugar from the inside out. You can find the link to download this quiz and other amazing resources in the show notes below. I also wanted to just take a quick minute to share a disclaimer. The information provided in this podcast is for general purposes only and is not at all intended to be professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. And as much as I do my best to bring you up-to-date and accurate information, please remember that I'm also sharing my opinions, stories, and ideas that are ultimately not supported by mainstream science. My personal advice should not be taken as professional advice, and you are always encouraged and advised to consult with your own healthcare practitioner before making any changes to your health and wellness routine. This podcast is intended to inspire and offer you alternative views to healing your relationship with food, mind, and body. It is up to each listener to take responsibility for their own health and wellness decisions. I hold no liability or responsibility for your results or lack thereof. Thanks for tuning in to the Beyond Sugar Freedom podcast, and we can't wait to see you in the next episode. Let's go.